Well, this is going to be a special edition of something I screwed up on in the first place. We were John C., Roseman, California, 54-year-old Ford, you know the rest of the damn thing. I was trying to make a video concerning about my thoughts on the cruise industry and my memories concerning about it. And the one thing I realized is when one does make a video, make sure one has a cover. Embarrassing as hell. Getting back to the topic concerning my cruising industry at this point over here. I know that the cruising industry is freaked out at this point over here, and they want to make sure that everything is hunky-dory. I like to make sure everything is hunky-dory with the cruising industry. I want to go back in the cruising industry. I had tried to explain a story concerning about my cruising experiences back in 2003, and unfortunately the damn tape got screwed up because I am without a shirt. To make it short at this point over here without making a long, pointless situation. I had been on my first cruise ship with my brother due to a favor owed to the family. My mother sailed in the Sun Princess for about 10 days with a friend of hers, and I sailed on the Monarch of the Seas back in 2003 in August. 3-day stint to Ensenada. And I was trying to make an emotional appeal at this point over here and trying to make it more romantic and how a first-time person getting on board a cruise ship was, feeling the romance of the sea and everything else, and then trying to make it so worthwhile. And if I put that thing on there, I'm going to be embarrassed like hell, because anybody else seeing that particular video have actually reposted the thing again, then I've got to be out of my mind in the first place. But I will tell you one thing concerning my cruising. I want to go back on a cruise ship real damn bad. Real damn bad. Once you get the cruise bug in you, it never leaves you. There is romance. There is romantic feelings and empathy and everything else rolled into one when you get in your first cruise ship and you have a staff that treats you wonderfully at the time, and you're on a board a ship that may look like it's worse than the Millennium Falcon, but when you look at it and you understand its structure, its workings inside and out, it becomes intimate. And that's where the feelings are. And I was sad that Royal Caribbean had sold off the Monarch to another company. And I was even more outraged when Royal Caribbean pulled out the market in the West Coast. However, understanding the situation regarding what's happening in Mexico. The cartels were getting too damn crazy, and they were threatening a lot of people. There may have been a hell of a lot more economic factors, but the bottom line is the Royal Caribbean made a decision to pull out of the West Coast entirely. I still think it was a bad idea, because then you open it up to the Carnival Corporation and Norwegian to move in to take all your sales. Meanwhile, you're focusing everything else on the Caribbean as your name entitles. And you're supposed to be international, so you also sell internationally. And I understand with the COVID situation going on right now, that the CDC is playing politics because you got the White House controlling it. Not to mention you got CLIA hamstrung because they can't do anything because of the damn CDC, because of the damn White House. So now every industry regarding cruising is still affected at this point over here. So anybody trying to go on for a first-time cruise is going to have a different experience than the ones we've had prior to the COVID virus hitting us. Because we've already had the romance, or shall I say, the bromance with a ship and a crew and an experience of a lifetime. And now it's got to get antiseptic. I miss cruising. My only one-time shot for cruising. I have been landlocked ever since. I couldn't afford another ship if I wanted to when you're on a fixed budget. But I still want to go back out there again. Even if it has to be the piecemeal of Carnival Corporation. Ugh. And even then they're landlocked because of the damn COVID virus. Once we get the CDC instructions on how to go out there and sail, Maybe there'll be a little bit of romance, but it's going to be a lot different than what we've used to at this point over here. We're used to food being given to us in restaurants, but now the buffets are no longer buffets. They're going to be cafeteria. You pick and choose your food, they'll give it to you. And then you sit down and eat. Just like a cafeteria. Not like a buffet style. That's gone. That's history. That's forever. Gone. Thank the COVID for that one. And it's a shame. Because I also like the buffet myself. And when I went cruising in 2003, it was with my brother. Passed away a couple of years ago. So, next time I go on a cruise, it's going to be by myself. I'll pay extra, and I think it'll be more worth it than going over to Walt Disney World. If I go to a local amusement park, it'll just be by myself. The thing is, when you're cruising, you go for the experiences. You go to meet people. You go to meet the sea. You get to meet King Neptune. Get to be part of the royal court. When you're sailing the seas, you're sailing on his realm. You're sailing along history. You're sailing along mystery. You're sailing along romance. You're sailing on the tides of mythology. And you're sailing for everything. And that's what cruising means to me at this point. So this is going to be a short video at this point over here. I'm going to send this thing over to YouTube instead of going through the other route like I've been. Sorry. I hope to see and meet with the travel agents I've been subscribing to. I hope one day we'll be able to share a table maybe and talk about our experiences, because I'd like to learn a lot more about that. So one landlocked person in Rosamond, California, in the desert region that's going to be melting his butt off, not to mention everything else. Weaver John C. from Rosamond, California, bids you fair winds and following seas, my fellow sailors.